Well, some local groups say more families are now needing help with bills and expenses. So tonight, Charles Burkett talks with some who may help.
We support local ministries the second Thursday and third Thursday of every month. Every penny that comes in those 2 Thursdays goes to local ministries. In this past fiscal year, it was over $420,000.
Philip Thigpen, director for the First West Thrift Store, says they support organizations which in turn help families.
We all have less money, so if we have less money to give because of everything costs more, then we have to cut something out. We got to be able to provide for our families.
Thigpen explains it also means costs have gone up for organizations as well.
Their bills are going up as well, and so the ministries are really having a hard time.
Rays of Sunshine is an organization that helps homeless families. The organization received a donation from First West of just over $4,000 this week.
That level of families that have qualified have increased, and thus our giving out of our bags have increased.
Rays of Sunshine says they provide financial help as well as donations and a food pantry. Executive Director Lynn Daniels says the dynamic in the area has changed.
Now those qualified families have even gone into North Monroe, into areas that you would never imagine that they would have a critical need in a season.
Money comes at a time they are also struggling. They are needing to replace an AC unit recently on one of the homes they renovated from damage to use for families.
We had a bid on it last October for $8,500, and we were not finished doing the redo inside, so we couldn't actually get that done. And we just got through, and now the cost of those units have gone up from $8,500, tax about $892. It has gone up to $15,000.
She hopes they can buy it soon to avoid more increases in costs. She explains why the renovation was important.
This is a very important house to us. It houses a lot of folks. And so coupled with the unbelievable redo, that means floors, walls, you can imagine.
Information on how to help the organizations and how to get help is on our website at knoe.com. In Ouachita Parish, Charles Burkett, KNOE 8 News.